Hello, it's Leadership in 30 Minutes. Leadership in 30 Minutes, and my name is Olatunji, your anchor. So, is there something that you have been taking for granted in your leadership role? Like many leaders have taken for granted. There's something fundamental to and about leadership that many leaders take for granted. It's particularly so when you are appointed the leader of a group, or you are promoted into a particular position in the corporate space where you have people responsible to you. And this is one of the factors that undermine the effectiveness of many leaders, just because they take this issue for granted. And this issue is very important. This issue is very important if you must succeed. It is very important to those who will follow you. It is very important for your own sake so that your efforts as a leader do not go to waste. What's that issue? I'm going to be asking you, a pointed question, all right, today on Leadership in 30 Minutes. Your leadership, who will follow you? Who will follow you? You are leading, you are appointed to a leadership position, you announce to everyone that, yes, you are the one now in charge. But have you ever stopped to think, who will follow me? Or do you take it for granted that the people, the members of your team are already there, they don't have any choice but to submit to you or to follow you? Yes, to obey your instructions, but to follow you is different from obeying your instructions. And it's important. If your leadership is to have any meaning, if your leadership is to fulfill the true purpose of leadership, it's important that people follow you, and follow you as in really following you. All right? Now, this is fundamental, very fundamental. You may have been leading without addressing it. You may even have been getting results with your team without addressing it, without ever consciously reflecting on it, and asking yourself questions like this. But perhaps now is the time, because if you haven't been doing it, then you certainly haven't been maximizing the potential that your leadership offers. If you haven't been doing it, then maybe it's the reason why your leadership, has not achieved much. You may have been complaining about your people. You may have been saying, well, they are not cooperating. You may have been wondering why your people are proving so difficult. All right. You may even have been, one of those leaders who would write their people off, thinking or believing that in spite of all their efforts, that people are just not coming around. Well, I've got news for you. And the news is that you are probably the problem. And the problem may be that you never really ask yourself this question: who will follow you? Who will follow you? Who will commit to you? All right. This is such a fundamental question. I love to look at Jesus and to learn from his leadership, approach, which I consider to be the most effective, because the effect are still being seen today. All right. After over 2,000 years. And, there's something he did, of course, think about this. And it was bold, to address it. And here was what he said to people whose following he desired. He said to them, follow me and I will make you. Follow me and I will make you. Follow me and I will make you. So he was frontal about what he wanted from his people. He put himself out there. He committed himself also. He said, look, I want to lead you, but I need you to follow me. And this is not just about, just obeying instructions or just having people line up behind you. This is about strong commitment. Following here means to strongly commit. All right. So you know that the heart of your team, is fully in what you are all about achieving, and not that there are people who are one leg in and one leg out. That's not the kind of following that you want. You want people who are committed. Now, he could address that issue so frontally. Why? Because he knew exactly what he had to offer. All right? I mean, this was an offer. Gentlemen, follow me. But he didn't stop there. He said, and I will make you. All right? So there's something on offer. He put an offer before them. Why did he put an offer before them? Because people want you to answer the what's in it question for me. Nobody's going to follow you. Nobody will commit to you without knowing what is in it for me. We all want to know what is in it for me. To ask me to follow you, you're asking for, an arm and a leg, to be frank. To ask me to follow you, all right, what the leader really means is given in Proverbs 23 and verse 26, all right? It said, my son, give me your heart and let your eyes observe my ways. You're asking someone to follow you. You're asking them to commit themselves. You're asking them to give you their heart, their whole attention. That's what you're asking for. It's a big deal. You're asking them to, release their lives and allow you to take the driving seat. If you're going to take the driving seat of their lives, you must be taking them somewhere that they know, somewhere that they approve of, and certainly somewhere that they consider to be very attractive. So you must address the what's in it question. If you don't, people won't follow you. If you think people are following you, I guarantee that you're fooling yourself. And if you are achieving any results at all, you are certainly underperforming because they are not putting all their best into it. They are not putting all their best into it. They are not putting all their best into it. And you cannot make the kind of offer that Jesus made there without being sure of yourself, without really asking yourself, why should anyone follow me? What do I have to offer? What is it that I bring to the table that will attract anyone to surrender to me, to submit to my leadership? All right, to commit their heart, their strength, and all they have to following me, because that is a requirement for every leader to be able to deliver on his or her mandate. Is a requirement. That's why I said, follow me. All right. It's even implied. I mean, if you are leading, who are you leading? And where are you leading them to? And why do you think they should follow you? Just because you have made leader, you have it all turned upside down. That will not cut it. You must answer. And that's why I'm putting it to you to consider. Who will follow me? Who will follow me? Maybe for some of you, it is who is actually following me. Is anybody following me, or have I been fooling myself? Am I wasting my efforts away? That's what you need to start thinking about. And in thinking about that, is first examining yourself, perhaps asking another question. Why should anybody follow me? What do I have to offer? If you're saying, my son, give me your heart, what do I have to offer? Notice something that Solomon said in that statement. He said, let your eyes observe my ways. That is what he had to offer, were his way of life. That's what he had to offer. His way of doing things. That's what he had to offer. His wisdom, that's what he had to offer. Compelling, all right, proposition. You can't make that kind of demand if you have not addressed the issue of what do you have to offer. Solomon had wisdom to offer. His wisdom was most compelling. Jesus had wisdom to offer. People listened to him and said, wow, what wisdom is this? What wisdom is this? David had, all right, something to offer. He had a heart of gold, as it were, and he had strength. He was a man of war. He had something to offer. Think about it. All right? Think about it. Moses had something compelling to offer. He was a very humble man, and he was found faithful. He was very diligent, committed, all right, to the business of leadership. He was taking the people somewhere based on instruction. What do you have to offer? What do you have to offer? What is it about you as a leader that is relevant for your role and will constitute an attraction to the people who are there to follow you or who you desire to follow you? All right? Who can you attract is another thing, because the quality of your offer will determine the quality of people that you attract. The quality of your offer will determine the quality of the people you attract. By the time Jesus was telling somebody like Peter, follow me, all right, he had shown Peter what he could do. All right, without having any relationship with Peter, Peter had an encounter he had never had before. He saw somebody speak just an instruction. He obeyed the instruction, and he had in his hands more fish than he had ever taken at once. That was a very instructive encounter. So when somebody who facilitated that, through whom you achieved that experience, says to you, follow me, now you understand the reason why, Peter was all sold out to following Jesus, his master. Because he saw practically what the man was able to do, what he stood for. And if someone with whom he didn't have a relationship could do that, what if he now had a relationship with that person? But more attractive was the fact that the person was willing to make him like himself, to put him in the same situation where he can help other people to accomplish the same kind of results. Tell me, if you were in that situation, will you not find that man attractive? Will you not follow that leader? Will you not commit? Will you not commit? Everyone that Jesus gave that opportunity did so. Did so. And voluntarily, by the way, not because he used authority, not because he whipped them into line, not because he threatened them, not because he harassed them, not because he oppressed them, like the Pharisees would do. And we have many of them as leaders all around the world, all around every sector today. Leaders ought to consider this question. Why should anybody follow me? And in considering that question, you should be looking at, what do I have would find attractive? Because when you do that, you are also answering the question, what's in it for whoever you want to follow you? And it's important to answer that question. By the way, when you make a statement like that, make an offer like that as a leader, Haven't convinced yourself that you are in a position to make that offer because you can deliver on it. Understand that you are putting yourself on the spot. And that's another source of attraction. You are holding out yourself as being accountable to the people you want to follow you, because you have said, this is what I will make you into. And so they have something to look forward to. And so they have something to hold you to. And when you are failing to deliver, they have every right to call your attention, to hold you responsible. And that's something also I have found that many leaders don't want to. Many do. Many leaders want people to follow them. They want people to do as they say. They want people to perform excellently. But they have never made a commitment to the people what they will do, what the people can hold them responsible for. Leadership positions are positions of responsibility. They are positions of responsibility. In expecting or demanding that people follow you, in seeking the commitment of people, all right, you also must show an example. Commit yourself first and see whether the people will not reciprocate. Commit yourself and give them time. Let them see that you have, first of all, that you mean what you are saying, and secondly, that you have the capacity to deliver. Don't make an offer that you can't deliver on. That will undermine your leadership even further. Please understand as a leader that people are not stupid. Stop thinking that people are stupid. The fact that you are a leader does not mean that people should be stupid. All right? Okay, so, let me show this question that just came in. And thank you for asking that question. What should one do when the management of an organization wants you to be harsh to his or her subordinate? The management wants you to be hard on your subordinates. Well, you do have choices. You do have choices. Let me make this clear. First of all, your responsibility is to ensure that along with your team, you deliver on the expectations of management. That is, there must be what management has asked your team to do. There may be targets or goals or objectives that have been set for your team. You want to ensure that with your own approach, which does not involve being hard on the people, which does not involve aggression or disrespecting people, you can deliver on those goals. All right. If you can deliver on those goals with your team, and I believe that if you use the right approach, which does not necessarily have to mean that you must be hard on your people, you will deliver on your team. When you deliver, when you have results to show, all right, it will weaken your management's demand, because you can't be asking me to be hard on people who are producing, who are meeting their targets, who are meeting our goals. We're fulfilling our responsibility. So what is it about being hard to your people? All right. What is it about being hard? No, that's not the way to go. All right. That is not to say that you should deal with people with kid gloves, because a leader must be committed to discipline. All right. There's no point. Don't be hard on people just for the sake of it. They are people. Treat people as people. All right. Don't treat people as robots or as animals. All right. There is dignity. You must bring dignity to bear in treating people. There are two things that are vital for every leader. If you want to succeed, no matter the skills that you have, number one is be fair when you are dealing with your team. Be fair to people in your relationship with them one-to-one. Be fair to them within the context of the organization. Be fair to them within the context of the team. Don't play favoritism. Don't play partiality. Let everyone be given an opportunity to fully express themselves. When you need that kind of environment, that kind of atmosphere, it's called putting in place a level playing field. then you will get the best out of all your people, because everyone wants to show what they can do. So number one is fairness. Number two is you need to show respect to your people. Don't expect people to respect you first because you are the leader, just because you are the leader. They also demand, they also deserve respect, even if they don't demand it. And you can do that first as a leader. And that is shown by the way you speak to them. It is shown by the way you treat them when they do things that don't quite meet your expectations. All right? It's the way you address them. Okay? And you don't rubbish your people before others, not before their colleagues, not before strangers. All right? Treat them with dignity. When you have that kind of a relationship with each of your people that is characterized as such, all right, you will see that you encourage them to bring out the best in themselves for your sake. They want to reciprocate your gesture. That's what respect does. And they do it by showing you that they can contribute, all right, to the team far more than you had thought. So fairness is important. Respect is crucial. The other thing is that be an example of diligence. Be an example of diligence. Let them know that you are diligent. Let them see that you are committed. Show them that your heart is in what you are doing along with them. That you just happen to be the head. You are also a member of the team. And you are as committed to it. You are not just folding your hands, sitting in your office, issuing instructions. That's not leadership, because they are not slaves. All right? Get in it. Get your hands dirty. They need your input. And your input is valuable. All right? Make yourself a part of them. Let them know that you are all in it together. And then you find, and you don't risk anything. You just offer them an opportunity to get to know you better, and therefore to get to know how to work best with you. And I'm going to stop at these three, all right, for now. When you have these three put in practice, you don't need to be harsh with any of your subordinates, because they will prove themselves to be responsible. They will reciprocate. They will commit to you. All right? They will commit to you. And if the people are doing what you want and they are getting results along with you, why do you want to be harsh on them? That's wickedness. The purpose of leadership is not to treat your people like animals. It's not to be harsh. A good leader, being hard is not necessarily a good attribute of a leader, or the attribute of a good leader. You can be firm, in which case you insist on principle. All right? You can be firm, but never shout, except it becomes, an extreme situation, and you need to put your feet down so that you can restore order and let everybody know, in case they have forgotten, that there is somebody who is the head of a ship. Once in a while, you need to do that to remind people that, somebody is still the head. Somebody is in charge. And when you are in charge, like someone says, take charge. When you are put in charge, take charge. But taking charge doesn't mean being harsh, doesn't mean being wicked, doesn't mean disrespecting people, doesn't mean talking to people anyhow. All right, doesn't mean making people feel as if you are a benefactor, or as if without you, they can't make it in life. That will undermine your leadership instead of promote it. Now, there may be leaders who operate like that, but if you examine them very well, you see that their people have little regard for them. You see that their team is not committed to them. You see that their results is not great. And if you actually x-ray their results, you will find that most of the result is attributable to the head. So the head is overworking himself just because he can't get the leaders to commit. When you get your people to commit to you, it takes the burden off you. So the results is not just because you know what to do. The results is because your people are, collaborating actively and with committed hearts, all right, to help the team achieve results that you all can be proud of. Certainly that kind of result will beat what the leader alone can achieve, and it will beat what any of the team members can achieve by themselves. And that's the way to go with leadership. So I hope that answers your question. Interesting that we got, a live question on today's, episode. Please let me know if, that answers your question. If you've taken, a couple of things away from that just before we round up now. So, that's it. Now, let me also speak to the fact that your ability to answer the question, who is following or who will follow, will determine the quality of who follows you. All right? Will determine the quality of who follows you. At times, leaders wonder, why are these the kinds of people that I have? All right? They wish they had better people. But even if you were to change the people, they may not turn out to be better. Why? Because everyone is taking a cue from you. All right? The people will become what they see in you. So if the people are not improving, it's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of the quality of the value that you bring to the table. You won't attract better people than yourself, more precisely, in terms of character. Your character will limit your attraction. Your character will limit your attraction to people. Perhaps more than anything else, your character will limit your attraction to people. All right. You can see that I didn't talk about skill earlier on, when I was responding to that question. Essentially, the things I spoke about have to do with character. Being fair, all right, is moral excellence. Okay. Being respectful, all right, is kindness. Doesn't hurt you, is humility. Being diligent is faithfulness. Okay, these are character attributes. They matter more than skills when it comes to the business of leadership. And these character attributes will limit who and who follows you, who and who gets attracted to you. Because when you have strong character, when you have the right character attributes, people will be attracted to you. People can value your skill, but it won't necessarily make them commit to you. But when people see character, all right, it is a greater source of attraction than skills. It makes them commit to you. And many of them want to be like you. And that already makes the ground, welcoming for you to get your job done. All right. So I'm going to leave you with this. Can people really follow you? I mean, be truthful to yourself. Can people really follow you? Who will follow you? What do you have to offer? How attractive are you to them or to others? What do they see in you to believe that you can even do what you offer? These are the important things. These are what real leaders pay attention to. These are substance not superficial stuff. And hopefully, if you would address this, your leadership can be made more meaningful. All right? And you can enjoy greater fulfillment because you have the commitment of your team, and you find performance of your responsibility as a leader a lot easier. When people strongly commit to you, your job is a lot easier as a leader because your burden is lifted. And the channel for influencing the people aright is cleared for you. That's when you are truly in control. When you don't have to be hard on your people before they do what they need to do, what they know you want them to do, what is in the best interest of the team, and what will produce the results that you all desire. That's the program for today, Leadership in 30 Minutes. And my name remains Olatunji Shobodu. I hope that you have gained something from today's session. And if you have, let me know in the comment. If you have other questions like the one we took during the session, please express them in the comment. Be sure that I will, respond to them. You want to share this link as well. And if you have not subscribed, subscribe. And let me call your attention to the Equip Bootcamp. If this has been, valuable to you, you can only imagine what the bootcamp offers. 40 days of listening to stuff like this, even more compelling. It promises, to be life transforming, to be empowering. You want to walk a path of excellence. If that is your goal, check out the Equip Bootcamp, the 40-day adventure. All right. That teaches you the principles that make for real, true success in life. Enjoy the rest of the week. God bless you. And see you again on Monday when it will be time for Leadership Monday. On Leadership Monday, I hand you a nugget or two to help you do leadership right. Once again, this is from Emet Leadership Academy. At Emet Leadership Academy, we nurture leaders based on truth. And truth for us is found in the Word of God. God bless you. Bye-bye.